Hello, this is Nathan, better known as CrazyhermitDM, and this is my podcast, The Hermit's Homebrew. Joining me today is Brent from Langeministudio, and Chase, who is better known as Kilk.
So, I just wish, and I know this is just me being me, and I just wish Wizards of the Coast would just take a step back and think of the fans. Yes, I understand they're a company. Yes, I understand they're there to make money. Yes, I understand this is their ball. They can play whatever game they want with their ball, and we're just in their court. But just think of the fans and how to make this as smooth a transition as possible.
They're a $4 billion company because of the fans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but just this is all rushed. This all seems very rushed.
It is.
It seems very not even polished or ready to go. Like they haven't even thought it through. It's just get it out there, make us money. Like, well, yeah, but
that's the new business model.
And I see it at work to where like I said with my work, all the clients get tablets. We were told this was happening, and then 3 days later, here they go, start issuing it. What are we supposed to do? Like very little training, if any, at all.
Right. Who's our IT guy for all these computers?
They haven't hired one yet.
Oh.
So we're just kind of winging it. And so this reminds me of that, to where it's force it out there. We'll learn on the ground.
Yeah.
And the decision makers aren't the ones that have to deal with it.
Oh, we talked a little bit about it in the Orcs the OGL episode. They already have like an overall negative view by their fan base.
Yeah.
But now they're going to go after the people that are doing the promotions for them.
Yeah. The people that are out there giving you positive, remarks, and you're attacking them.
To take this free promotion down.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's there's no such thing as bad advertising, so we're gonna make it bad.
Right.
Wait.
Let's try to set that bar
real low.
I guess for anyone that's honestly really against it, just support the third-party content creators.
Yeah. Tales of Valiant.
If once Tales of Valiant starts getting some more stuff, I'd be willing to switch.
Oh yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Was like, well, I was thinking Tales of the Valiant being the system we run my campaign in, but I'm looking at it and I know the characters everybody was saying they want to play. Tales of the Valiant doesn't have those classes. They doesn't have those subclasses. So It's almost kind of like, maybe, wait until Tales of the Valiant gets fleshed out.
Running through that rulebook system.
Yeah, exactly.
Classes don't really matter as long as...
Yeah, or just sit there and just do a dive. Like, I know Vic wants to do a Circle of the Spores Druid. Just take the Tales of the Valiant Druid and look at a Circle of Spore subclass and see if I can... how hard it would be to convert over.
I don't think it would.
And I don't think so either.
I think it'd be level changes because they...
Pretty much.
Like we mentioned in our review of it on the previous episode, they're not... The reason why they came out with a 5e, basically 5e clone edition, is because all their previous stuff is 5e. That's their bread and
5e
butter.
compatible, yeah.
Literally cutting themselves off below the waist.
Yeah, so now they released Tales of the Valiant that's 95% D&D 5e, so that now they can just keep on going business as usual. And, we're not making it for D&D 5e, we're making it for Tales of the Valiant.
Right.
Just so happens it works seamlessly with D&D. Hey, that's a happy accident.
The big thing that will...
That's what Wizards of the Coast is going to do soon. They're just going to create their own...
they created D&D, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying. They're going to create their own competitor. You know what? It just popped into my mind. Coming from the gaming world, and we're talking about Wizards of the Coast, and just kind of throwing the new D&D at the wall at people and being like, what do you think?
Like a monkey at a ship at a zoo.
Yeah, but it's the same thing that happens in the gaming industry now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, there was beta testers. Like, games didn't come out until they were done. And now, open alpha tests. And I'm like, games like Escape from Tarkov have been in beta for 11 years.
Yeah.
And they have people playing all the time. They've made new games. They've made new games in Tarkov.
Yeah.
But they're still in beta.
It's still in beta. Yeah.
It's this new idea that there's enough consumers that they can just throw it out there because everybody gets it so quickly, right? I can go buy it on Steam right now.
Yeah, now that
Not Tarkov, but just
now
any
that
game.
digital download is a thing, game polish has gone out the window.
Yeah.
Because they can issue hot fixes, they can do DLCs, they can do like one of the highest grossing games ever created, GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64. That game was released, polished, done.
Yeah.
Absolutely zero changes can be made to it because it was on a freaking cartridge.
Right.
And it revolutionized the first-person shooter. Now, could they do that now? Hell no.
They can't even get Halo Infinite right.
Yeah, exactly. Look at Call of Duty.
The last time we were
Call of Duty hasn't changed.
the last
True,
time we
ever.
were recording or setting up with the mics and all that, I brought it up to Brent and I go, it's showing because the last person that was the CEO was Cynthia Williams of Wizards of the Coast, and I think she used to work at Funko, or she went to Funko. I think she went to Funko actually. The new guy is the former Blizzard's CEO.
Oh, yeah, I remember you saying that.
The one that got fired
Is now at Wizard. Is now
for
No wonder why it's a dumpster fire.
for basically treating women like crap.
I don't know.
Oh no, that would be bad. That's a bad look for Wizards of the Coast, right?
A little bit. Not that anyone else is doing it.
John Haidt.
I don't remember the guy's name.
Blizzard's entertainment veteran John Haidt succeeds Cynthia Williams, who left her post in the toy and game company in April.
Wonder how much money she got to leave.
I don't know if it was. I just know that Blizzard had a very bad run for a little while where it came out that there was a lot of
Yeah, they were being...
misogynistic bro culture.
Yeah.
Is probably a good way to put it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's like, what, in the video game industry?
They-
How
right.
dare you?
And I know that they got rid of a lot of those people. They
did.
even did like an Overwatch, which is which is a very inclusive game, right? They like to talk about their inclusivity.
So John Haidt was after 12 years, he was the senior vice president and general manager of the Warcraft franchise.
Okay, I don't know if
Yeah.
that had anything to do with it, but
Or if he was the bro culture dude.
it could have been. I mean, back then they all were, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, early 2000s, 90s was Mad Men of gaming for the game culture
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Which...
because no one monitored it or no one turned it in.
True, right? There was very little. They really all they cared about back then, in like the early Xbox days, right, was that you weren't cheating. If you were cheating, you would get banned pretty quickly.
Oh,
But
yeah, hardcore.
if you were toxic, you had it. They didn't record comms.
Yeah.
Right? Nowadays, when you go
What is
to
it? Yeah.
games, Valorant, Overwatch, things like that, there's a disclaimer. It says audio comms are recorded for, whatever. So they can go back and
For
listen.
quality assurance and, yeah, whatever.
Overwatch even changed one of the guys from Blizzard's name. In Overwatch, he went from McCree. He used to be the cowboy guy.
Okay.
He is now called Cassidy because the guy that he was named after, they found out was one of the bro culture dudes who was doing and saying a lot of mess up stuff to women. So they totally removed the name.
McCree.
Matt Mercer? No way.
Yeah, McCree is voiced by Matt Mercer.
Yeah. Now it's Cassidy. And
I didn't know Matt Mercer was a bro culture dude. I'm kidding.
well,
I'm
no,
kidding.
of course.
Don't come after me. It's a joke.
But they renamed him and they removed all of it because of what that guy had done.
No,
Because McCree was actually a person at Blizzard. So
With Wizards,
didn't change the way character looks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this changed the name.
Wizards though, with the new edition, it doesn't totally surprise me because if you look at 5th edition, other than those first couple of books, they haven't brought out really any sort of supplements to add to the game other than like since Xanathar's or Tasha's. And Tasha's and was it Mordecai's of the Multiverse book was just rehashes and polishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An expanding of what's already there, yeah. Didn't add anything.
And all it's been is
Dragons.
yeah. Vizban's Dragons, I guess, had the Jim Dragonborns, which is just
They added a whole bunch of dragons and stuff.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
I guess it was like you said, it's just adding flavor.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind adding Draconians to our setting, which is a Dragonlance race.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I mean, we already have Dragonborn.
Yeah, Draconians are basically like more pure blood dragon folk.
Okay.
Um,
World of Warcraft just came out with the Drek theories.
nice.
I might not have not said that correctly, but they're basically like human-sized dragons with wings
Oh, okay.
that walk upright and just They're more like
Really-
Dragonborn.
Really doubling down on that furry culture.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. They're like Dragonborn, but like they have wings. Like just think Dragonborn, but they still have the wings of like normal dragons do. But they can't like
So can they fly?
fly for long distances with them.
For
Just jump.
Like chickens.
It's jump.
Or like an ostrich.
yeah.
They can't really fly long distances. They can go.
For
a
anyone
while.
that's still listening or whatever, if we're wrapping it up,
Pretty much
the point of this all with the gaming culture, with the video game culture of like it not being through the early beta alpha test is like you really look at like the adventures. They're all very mid. There's glaring plot holes. The only way you can really get a complete like Descent to Avernus is by going to the DM's Guild and spending probably another $60 in supplements to fill the gaping plot holes in if you're
Yeah.
actually trying to run it as written.
Oh, that's terrible.
Is that the same thing with like the Princess of Apocalypse book and stuff too? It's
the,
just
D-
kind of
the
very
DM's
open.
guide of this, and
Yeah.
it helps polish it.
Because I always thought the Prince of Apocalypse book would be so cool to run. But every time I look up and I look into it, because I have the book, but every time I look at people who've run that before, they're always like, it's just an open-ended, figured out. And you're just like, oh, okay.
The the funnest thing that I've read in the last week though is when I'm going through the forums like in world, and you can tell it's a newer DM or a younger DM, is them complaining about the adventures and like I can't run it as is. I have to make changes. I'm like,
Yeah.
Your first time?
Right.
first time it's like
Yeah,
what DM actually runs it as is and doesn't make changes to it though?
Adventures
The
Guild.
Adventurers League, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a real thing?
How
many people do Adventures League? Or the Adventures
It
Guild?
is actually
I did some in 06.
Okay.
we do have a pretty prominent one in here in Omaha.
Do
And
we?
when we go to
Okay.
NukeCon,
Really?
when we go to NukeCon, they will have multiple tables of it. Like
Is it just Adventures Guild stuff? Because like when I went to PAX, for instance,
Yeah.
I went to PAX East
Okay.
a few years ago, and they had full areas of D&D. It wasn't necessarily Adventures Guild stuff. It was just, hey,
Open table, come play.
we have DMs that are sitting here at this time. If you want to come play, and they're just doing one shots. Mm-hmm. And you're
There's
just
still gonna be
walking in there
those
doing
too.
one shots too. I just,
I'm going to be running the Tomb of Horrors there, and I'm going to try and
Murder some folk.
yeah.
I wish that and maybe there is, and this is just something that I'm unaware of, in the Adventures League, is there a benefit to doing it? I ask this question specifically because I say, us sitting here right now doing our stuff, like we're just doing it to have fun.
Yeah.
Do you get something for doing the Adventures League? Or is it just sitting there doing D&D with
It's
someone
D&D, and then you get a log sheet, and then they hand you the stuff that you
I don't know if there's any like physical rewards for going to a
Like
I don't know if
I
you
did
get
50
anything.
hours in the Adventures Guild and I got a character level 20, do I get anything from Blizzard for doing their Adventures Guild? Right? Do I...
No, because Blizzard doesn't do D&D.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Wizards of the Coast.
Wizards of the Coast. Too much World of
Sorry,
Warcraft
I'm
for me
being- I'm
lately.
being a jerk, sorry.
But does Wizards... Is there anything that you can get from
No,
doing
we
that?
talked
No.
about that in a previous episode too, of like how does Wizards repair a thing? It's like,
Here,
hand out-
here's a gift card for like 20% off of a digital book purchase of a book or something.
So, this is... And that's so weird to me, right? They want... Adventures League was big back in the day. I know that it was. I had
it
tons of
still
friends
is-
that played it.
Still is moderately popular.
But what I'm saying is how do you get people to want to play Adventures League? And do you want people to play Adventures League? Or is it just something that people have been doing on the side forever, so they just continue it?
I don't know enough about it to intelligently answer that question.
You know what I mean? Like, that's my question that I have. You have a really cool idea here, right? You have the Adventures League that can go out and do these cool things. You know, their characters can transfer from one DM to another, from one adventure to another. Like, as long as it's within the right parameters, like, you can do all these cool, fun things. Where is the perks for doing that?
Other than just the socializing aspect.
Other
Right.
than the personal thing of, hey, I went and played D&D.
Yeah, usually when these
exactly.
companies
Yeah.
have these things, they're like, hey, if you can show us that you came and played 100 Adventures League campaigns, you might get the new book for free. Or here, your D&D Beyond is free for 2 months or 6 months.
Yeah,
100 is a
they-
lot,
they
let's be
might.
fair. Like, 100 sessions is a lot. So,
They
like,
might
yeah,
have
it's a shit
something
ton,
we just don't know because we don't know Adventures League.
because we don't do Adventures League.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
true.
They could very well do it, but we don't know.
It might be something to look into too. You know, because what if you get like a limited edition DMG
Yeah.
that you can only get by participating in so many Adventure League runs or DMing Adventures Leagues specifically. Like, what if you're not a DM and you're a player? What if you get a player's handbook that is like Adventures League style?
Yeah.
like that would be so.
Do you
yeah,
know
like,
the
there's
local
so
game
cool
shops?
ideas.
Like, I volunteered for that one shot back in April before I injured myself moving here, and haven't had a chance to go back. I did a one shot at his thing, and he gave me $25 store credit for running a game.
Right, but that's from the
That's
store.
from the store. That's not from him. But I wasn't also running Adventures League. I was running a homebrew, like basically my own thing.
Imagine. Ready for this?
Uh-oh. Here we go.
I always go back to like references to games or anime or
Yeah.
or anything like that because I see a lot of good things happen in there. Sword Art Online
Yeah.
is a really cool anime.
I like Sword Art Online. A lot of people out there shit on it. I think it's really good.
I don't know why they crap on it. I thought it was fantastic.
I thought it was great.
One of the things that he makes a reference to, the main character, when they're in the ferry with the big,
They were
with the
in
tree
Alfheim.
in Alfheim, is that the AI system in place creates quests on the fly.
Yep.
That means every player that's currently playing in this system can go on a unique quest and do some cool things, and it might adjust things that happen in the world, and it might not. Because that was the big issue with the Thor in that world. Remember when they saved the princess, and there was the big guy who was basically trying to do Ragnarok. in
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah.
time.
Yep.
And they had to go fight him,
Yeah.
and they had to get and save this girl. And he made references to the AI created this that could have world-ending issues. Like, this is bad. But is it? Because like World of Warcraft, for instance, had Cataclysm, where everything just got destroyed. And we talked about Final Fantasy 14 that got shut down and it got rebuilt because the world died.
Rebranded because
unquote.
it sucked so bad.
Or World of Warcraft, which is something D&D could do. They could basically just do all their remastered stuff and just do Warcraft Classic.
Imagine a world of an Adventures League world that you could play VTT Baldur's Gate 3 style, where other DMs were doing things.
That's
and the world would shift and
that used to be a thing back in the 80s and 70s. That's a West Marches campaign.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just think it would be really cool. Like, if the Adventures League took place in the Forgotten Realms, they should have, personal opinion, maybe way out there, not possible. They should have a world that it's done in, that all the Adventures League DMs, after they're saying, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Now, granted, like, let's say we're all doing the same thing, whatever. But they should be able to, the world should change based off those.
No, yeah.
Because
absolutely.
it's the Adventures League that's happening, that's supposed to be happening in
That's how Gygax ran. I think it was just his own personal campaign. I could be wrong, which is Great Hawk. But he'd have these multiple DMs telling him what they did, and he'd use it and gather the lore for his stuff, and then whatever they did, changed it, and then it's like, hey, my group's over here, so don't bring your group here, because
they're doing their shenanigans over there.
Yeah.
I just think Wizards has so much opportunity to do some really cool things.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
With the Adventures League specifically, to make it a part of D&D, because every D&D player kind of knows about the Adventures League.
They probably,
but like,
if they've never played it, they at least know it exists.
Right.
That or there was a tabletop.
Give me a reason to want to go to Games Workshop and sit down and do your Adventures League. Give me a reason to want to go there other than,
I don't have a group.
yeah,
I don't have a regular group.
which is a great reason. Don't get me wrong.
LFG.
Like, if you need a group, like the Adventures League seems to be fantastic for it.
Yeah.
But as a player who has a group, right, who has a pretty solid group that shows up all the time, I don't have any desire to go do that. I have none. As you're not giving me a reason to want to play in your Adventures League. And I think that they're missing out on an opportunity, because we talk about businesses want to make money. They're missing out on an opportunity to do some really cool stuff. And it makes me sad.
What about we mix D&D and speed dating?
Oh man, we could find some baller groups.
You go in and you do one shots, and it's a random group, and everyone's got a QR code to where it's like, oh, okay, cool. You like, okay, cool. We did a one shot. Everyone passes out a QR code with your name and stuff on it.
Yeah.
So if you're like, oh, that person was cool. Hey, let's get a group together. Hey, you're cool. Ooh, you're a dick.
And you're in the
There
local
is a
area.
looking for group app or whatever, basically
For D&D?
for like tabletop.
They
gaming and all
should.
that. Because it got made fun of quite a bit in the community of like it basically came off like a dating app of like, sorry,
Hey, if people-
sorry, I won't hang out with you. You only play 3rd edition.
Oh, God.
The edition wars.
Please.
Everybody knows 3.5 is the superior edition. Moving on.
I have no comments since I never played 3.5.
Yeah.
It's all
Is
right.
it? Is it? Yeah, it's what I cut my teeth on. I'll be the first to admit that towards the end it got.
Brent
really,
makes that
really
arguments behind
crunchy.
the 20 books it takes to run.
Yeah, it's I like 5th edition. It seems to be the best of both worlds between 4th and 3rd. So I like 5th. I enjoy it.
I think that, Nathan, you made a very good point earlier about how the new D&D stuff is not angled towards the older players.
Yeah.
And it makes sense.
Yeah,
Right?
they're trying to fish out the new community.
Exactly.
Yeah. The
How
next
many-
generation of players. Yeah.
How many people showed up to D&D because of Baldur's Gate 3?
And
Then they throw out Larry into the fucking.
Well, that's fine.
and they threw them.
I mean,
rules, yeah.
But what I'm saying, right, is
And now-
those are the players that they're catering to now.
And then they're.
Yeah.
I have to give them credit with Gen Con. It took balls to show that untested virtual tabletop they're trying to bring out. Because it could have green screened like it did with Steve Jobs. The window could have shattered like it did with Elon.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
And
well,
it's obvious that they're trying to go more towards the virtual side, like I had mentioned, because they have Baldur's Gate like virtual minis on there now.
Yeah.
Or they're
One of my new esports players, she was like, oh, we can put games that we don't compete in on our PC. I was like, technically you get one, but like we don't really enforce it as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do.
yeah.
And she's like, I know what I'm doing. And she goes, look, and I walk over to her computer. She's got 1,000 hours in Baldur's Gate 3.
Dang.
1,000 hours. And I was like, holy cow.
she want to come join our group.
we need
That's me playing
groups.
Fallout. Damn. All right.
like
It even out the boys and the girls.
I feel like I play Overwatch a lot. And I do. Probably every day. I don't have 1,000 hours in Overwatch.
No.
And I'm just like,
Damn.
I was surprised
this
when
is
I
your
had
world. Like, that's great.
Yeah.
You would do great in regular D&D.
Yeah,
March,
oh,
when it was
absolutely.
my dad's birthday, me and my brother and my sister all like chipped in, bought him Baldur's Gate 3 and a
Oh yeah,
and a
and
PS5.
he was correcting
yeah.
you on world lore and stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, yeah, he was already corrected. He
Damn,
played for a
Dad.
bit, but like he re-downloaded Fallout 4 and then made the mistake of doing the updates before he had to uninstall it and undo the updates because it apparently crashes the game.
Yeah.
But he has
my.
he has 1,500 hours in Fallout 4.
Dang.
Cyberpunk 2077 and Fallout 4 are the only two games I've 100%ed.
Really? Nice.
Yep.
I've Skyrim back in the day when I was on PS like 3 or 4. I had like at least 600-700 hours.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yep, absolutely.
But that's also before I started getting into writing and a lot of the online stuff.
Yeah,
that took, like, a lot
exactly.
more time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but you're right, Chase. There's a lot of potential, especially with AI, with technology making the leaps forward that it is. There is a lot of possibility if people put a little bit of their pride on the shelf and work towards making a quality product that they don't get so possessive over, so that other people can have fun in their sandbox. And we can do people can do amazing things when they work together.
Yeah.
Or like I said, you don't like what they're doing. There's
Go play something
Alex.
else.
There's as the OGL proved. There's plenty of other things to play,
Yep.
and that's the big thing I'm waiting out with this 6E 5.5 to come out with. They haven't released their own open gaming license with this thing yet, and there's no creators that are wanting to create anything for them until they do.
I need to double check. I think in the back of Tales of the Valiant, they have their own version of the OGL.
Yep.
Oh, really?
That was
Yeah, to where it's like, here's a copy of the OGL that we're using.
and
Go
we
for it.
we won't change it, or if we
Yep.
do, we will update
Yep.
very publicly.
No, we'll come to your house and we will burn that book and we'll give you a different one.
When you had to step out for a moment, I was telling him the funniest thing out of like this whole controversy with D&D Beyond, and we'll wrap it up with this, is Morkborg came out with a tweet, I don't care, X or whatever Elon
Tweet.
Musk- yeah,
Tweet,
a tweet.
It came out
Morkboard,
with
which
an
is this
X.
little their own little tabletop thing, goes, if we ever come out with a second edition of our game, we will break into your house and burn the first edition. Hey, tabletop gamers. Thank you for watching this episode of the Hermit's Homebrew. We come out with new episodes every Wednesday. Remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends as we continue to level up and grow.